So many different times in my life, I've played with broken or hurt things, broken foot, broken leg, broken hand, broken arm, broken sternum, broken collarbone. I could keep going if I just thought more about bones. Why, man? Because I loved it. I loved playing the game. I was passionate about it. One of the reasons I even get encouraged at seeing all of you here. Do you know why I get encouraged by that? Is because you could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you. And they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zuttner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
Mr. Clyde started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. Now we here.
Clay, I just value every moment that I get to sit next to you and just pick your brain. It's a glorious honor.
Well, to quote Miguel, one of my favorite R&B artists,
Oh, yes.
I adorn you.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. I also just want to say that a lot of how you conduct yourself and the things you do puzzle me. I think you're a strange man at times. You're wearing a basketball jersey right now, are you not?
David
Under your suit?
Robinson, number 7.
Yeah, so he's always wearing jerseys under his suits. But I want to talk to you today about another topic that confuses me a little bit.
Okay, sure.
And this is the Lean Six Sigma for Dummies. So we're going to pretend like I'm the dummy. Just gonna pretend like I'm the dummy here. And I want to be able to understand this the ins and outs here of this Lean Six Sigma.
Well,
Do you want to explain something?
Well, I want to say real quick, usually when I talk to someone who I perceive to be dumb, we all tend to do this.
Yeah.
We tend to talk loud. So if it's okay, I'm just going to talk a lot louder.
That's wonderful.
At you and
Please.
slower.
Great.
So hopefully you'll understand it.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So I've compiled a couple definitions here.
Yeah.
All right. This is for defining the Lean Six Sigma, and I've got this definition from combining 2 definitions. The first definition is the Six Sigma. This process is defined as one in which 99.99966% of products created are expected to be statistically free from defects. This definition is actually coming from the businessdictionary.com.
Yeah.
And then when you combine that definition with lean management,
Yeah.
okay, stay with me. Definition of lean management, also from businessdictionary.com, says, doing more with less by employing lean thinking. Lean manufacturing involves never-ending efforts to eliminate or reduce muda, Japanese for waste or any activity that consumes resources without adding value. In design, manufacturing, distribution, customer service, the whole process. So it's cutting down on the errors of this process, correct?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes people joke with me about in the office about they say Claytron, hey, Claytron. Well, that's based on it's like that I'm sort of robotic, and that I like to do the same thing every day.
Yes.
The idea of Six Sigma, the idea of Six Sigma, that refers to the pursuit of perfection.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, at the time that Jack Welch took over as the CEO of GE, he was fanatical about quality. And he moved them from making refrigerators and toasters into making jet engines. So this company shifted from making toasters to jet engines. Well, just throwing it out there for you. If you're on a plane, wouldn't you want 99.99966% accuracy on the overall quality of the engine?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you want to know that? I mean, that it was going to work?
Yeah.
Now, in small businesses, it's typically, and this is an exaggeration, but at a local sandwich shop, you might have a 75.2% satisfaction quality rating. So it means only 3 out of 4 sandwiches they make are good, but yet they can make a jet engine with 99.99. No, unbelievable.
That's crazy.
So why is it that you go into the local DMV, not in your city, I'm sure, but in my city, you go in there and 1 out of 4 customers leaves upset?
Right.
Why is it that they can't ever get the paperwork right 1 out of 4 times? Why is it that there's a hair, because I own a hair business, I spy on other hair businesses all the time. Why is it that I go into hair businesses and I'm only getting 1 out of 4 that actually do a good job? And yet we can make jet engines with 99.99. I'll tell you why. Because this is a document. This is a written document. A document can be improved upon over time. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit. But an oral tradition cannot be improved upon over time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, like, I could make it a little bit better, a little bit better. So if I took this picture and I was trying to draw this picture with 100% accuracy, I could draw it, and then if I could make a photocopy of it and make it a little bit better, and then a little bit better, and a little bit better, eventually I could probably draw it exactly this way.
So you're saying the Six Sigma is something, a process that you write down and improve upon?
It's an idea that it's the pursuit of perfection. It is a business process defined as when you are almost 100% accurate. And I can tell you with the DJ business, the last year I ran it, because I surveyed customers, we operated about a 98 point whatever percent satisfaction rating.
Yeah.
Meaning that for every wedding that we did, 98% of the brides returned a positive feedback. And that was not good enough for me. And I wanted every script to be answered the exact same way. So literally I had my guys answering the phone the exact same way. Every email looking the exact same way. Every DJ setting up the exact same way. And you have to hate variation, okay? And the Asian
people say
culture
that's
has...
boring, right?
Well, boring, to me, boring is consistently losing because you are basically creating predictable failure.
Right.
That, to me, that's boring, is having predictable failure. To me, what's exciting is the pursuit of perfection. You give me Tim Duncan and 20 years of basketball success any day over the upside and downside of some of these morons in the NBA who are fascinated with having a good game and a bad game. I love the consistency of Tim Duncan, the big fundamental.
Oh, yeah. So you've mentioned a couple different businesses. Can this be applied to any different kind of business?
Yes. Now, Six Sigma in the true sense, where you really get into the craziness of 99.999%, it'll be a little bit easier to achieve in manufacturing because there's automated machines that do things. But in a soft business, like a soft selling, a business like a service where there's a lot of humans, not a lot of automated processes, I believe you can get probably in the 98, 99%.
And that's by just creating those workflows, the checklists, the systems.
And being an intense manager. I remember I used to tell guys, get off the phone. And they're like, why do I have to get off the phone? You didn't say it right. Hang up. Why do I have to hang up? You didn't answer the phone right.
Yep.
Call again. Call again. Answer again. We're going to drill again. We're going to record your call again. Make your call again. Say the call again. Improve a call. I mean, a fanatic about it. I got to the point where at my own DJ shows, I was tracking my own shows to see if I could hit perfection.
And I've seen you and experienced you doing that here in Thrive.
Yeah.
I mean, you have specific call scripts set up. And if somebody says the general idea, but doesn't quite say the exact words, they hear from you.
They hear from me because it's not replicatable, it's not duplicatable, it's a waste of time, and the variance, the degree of errors, the margin for error is too high.
Right. And I mean, that's why people stress, you know, like, nobody can sell like me. Nobody understands, nobody's as good as me, nobody's as talented as me. You can't replicate that.
You can't replicate awesome.
But when you've got it on the workflow, the checklist, you're able to hand it to somebody else and say these words exactly, it can grow.
So if you're watching this right now and you own a small business, I encourage you to write down every single process that you have and turn it into an operations manual for every single thing you do. The phone script, the email, the accounting systems, how you answer the phone, how you greet people, how you do appointments, how you ship stuff, have diagrams, pictures, have it documented. Okay? Write it on the tablets.
Or else it'll be forgotten.
Boom.
There's no way to do it other way. So those would be the essentials then of this Six Sigma is writing that down, is evaluating every single process.
How about this? It's defining every single process so there is a definite right way and a wrong way. The right way is the way that's documented. The wrong way is anything else.
There you go.
So, and just an example, like on Thrive, we're making videos.
Yeah.
And we have what's this loop called?
That is the broadcast loop.
The broadcast loop. Well, if you don't make a broadcast loop, it's the wrong loop.
Right.
Why? Because this is the way you do it.
Right.
Who says? The operations manual.
Yeah, the workflow.
Boom.
It is.
In my face, my pale face. Back to you.
All right, Clay. Now let's jump into examining here in more depth the principle and the language of the Six Sigma.
Okay. Well, the idea is dimming is, if you get a chance to just Google dimming and quality control, he's kind of like the father of quality control.
Okay.
And what dimming talks about is if it's not measurable, it's not manageable. So what you're going to have to do is have a measurable, quantifiable number for everything. So if we're talking about a video team, how many videos per day should a person be able to edit per hour or per day or per... And once you define that number, you hold people accountable to it. If we were making cakes, we would say, how many cakes per day should this person make per hour, per shift? And then we say, what is the exact circumference of each cake top? What is the actual weight of each ingredient we add to the cake?
Yeah.
Everything has to be measurable, otherwise it's not manageable.
And you have set Thrive up, I mean, to follow that principle exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioned the editing. You know exactly how long each edit should take, each video should take. And you hold people to that.
It will be a lot better, and it's going to continue to improve. By the time we finish improving it, which is when I'll be like really old and crazy. But when we finish our system, I would predict that in 6 months from now, we will be 4 times faster than we are right now.
Wow. But you've even set that up with the sales floor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got it so that we've got a big whiteboard, right? And on that whiteboard, you can tell how many calls have been made, and you've set out a clear standard that you have to get this many calls made, you have to set this many appointments, and you have to land this many deals. And it's up there for everybody to see so you can measure it.
If it's not measurable, or it's not manageable, and that's just what it is. And the other thing is, some other language you want to talk about here is you want to put the numbers out front.
Right.
The numbers need to be out front, because if not, then they kind of go into that weird, it's basically, if it's not quantifiable, then it's justifiable.
Yeah.
Okay? So if it's not quantifiable, it's justifiable. So if you say, how many videos did you make today? And if someone's like, oh, I did pretty good, then it's justifiable. I did pretty good. You did pretty good. I'm sure you did. I did my best. You did your best. That's exciting. Well, now if it's quantifiable,
right.
How many did you do? 7.
There's no excuses.
There's really no story there. That's all you're looking for is a number.
You did 7?
The numbers suck the emotion out. You need to do that. It's very important, okay? The final thing I wanted to talk about with this, because we have other episodes that we really mine into this, is that if you own a small business right now, what you want to do is go through every single part of your business. We talked about it. Phase 1 is you want to document everything. Phase 2 is put a number on everything. Find a measurable, quantifiable number for every process.
Not just the sales.
Yeah, everything.
Really?
If you have a sales team, how many calls should they make before they produce one appointment? How many appointments should they make before they produce a deal?
Right. Because then you can walk in, like you said, and you eliminate excuses.
If you have a cake, how much sugar should be added? How much flour? What's the weight of it? What's the circumference of the cake? What are the numbers?
How long should each cake take to make? I mean,
Bam.
It's the only way to measure it. Yep. Good. Well, and then the last thing is just pinpointing the essentials of the Six Sigma. Is that kind of what you were just saying with that last point there?
What I want you to do right now, if you're watching this, I want you to go ahead and think about just one basic process in your business. We're all going to start with something we can all relate to.
Okay.
It's going to be the phone. Okay? I'm going to walk you through the steps, okay? So on the phone, what we're going to do is we're going to first off make a script about what should be said on the phone when the phone rings.
Perfect.
When the phone rings. That's step 1.
Okay,
Step 2, what should you say when you're calling on the phone? So inbound and outbound. What should you say?
These are 2 different scripts. One script for the call coming in, one for the call going out.
Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come with metrics for each one.
Okay.
So we're going to say, what should my conversion percentage be on my inbound and outbound? So if I make an outbound call, how many deals should I get for every call I place out?
Sure.
How many deals should I get for every call I get in? Then the next thing is, how long should it take to make an outbound call? How long should it take to do an inbound call?
Right.
That's a number.
Yeah.
Just do that basic system and you are starting to begin to make a quality system. Now, what's awesome is every week you want to try to beat those numbers by just a little bit. So every week you're going, gosh, you know what we want to do? We want to increase that closing percentage by that conversion percentage just by 1%. Let's make it our goal this week. 1%, 1%, 1%. And you get fired up about it. That's how greatness happens.
But
you're focused on getting 1% better.
You can't focus on making 1% better. You can't focus on improving if you don't know where you're at right now.
That's the point. If it's not measurable, it's not manageable. This is what it's all about. Don't be overwhelmed by the language. This is something that you can do.
Good. And that's what we do here at Thrive, is break it down and give you specific action steps. And we've done that. Evaluate every aspect of your business and start with the calls. Inbound or outbound, make the script, find what that conversion rate is.
At Thrive, we break it down like those old school B-boys, where like you had the guys there's the girls who wore the knee pads called the fly girls.
Yeah.
And then the B-boys, these guys had like the massive stereo system. It's like, about this big, and they carry it while they're walking around.
Oh, yeah, I do know what
And
you're
some people
talking
call it a ghetto blaster. It's poof, 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 and then they throw down that linoleum, and they start doing the break dancing. That's how we break it down at Thrive. We break it down like old school B-boys and fly girls. Holla.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma during the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, 2024. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. Yes, folks, put it in your calendar. This December, the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business growth workshop. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to learn branding, you want to learn marketing, you want to learn search engine optimization, you want to learn social media marketing, that's what we teach at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop. If you want to learn accounting, you want to learn sales systems, you want to learn how to build a linear workflow, you want to learn how to franchise your business, that is what we teach at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to feature Michael Levine, the PR consultant of choice for Nike, for Prince, for Michael Jackson. We've had the top PR consultant in the history of the planet has spoken at the Thrivetime Show workshops. We've had Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, a company that creates apparel worn by celebrities all throughout the world. Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, has spoken at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshops. We have had the man who's responsible for turning around Harley Davidson, a man by the name of Ken Schmidt. He has spoken at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops. Folks, I'm telling you, these events are going to teach you what you need to know to start and grow a successful business. And the way we price the events, the way we do these events, is you can pay $250 for a ticket or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes! We've designed these events to be affordable for you, and we want to see you live and in person at the 2-day interactive December 5th and 6th Thrivetime Show Business Workshop. Everything that you need to succeed will be taught at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Workshop, December 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the way we do these events is we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a question and answer session so that wonderful people like you can have your questions answered. Yes, we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a 15-minute question and answer session. It's interactive. It's 2 days. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been doing these events since 2005, and I'm telling you, folks, it's going to blow your mind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop is America's highest rated and most reviewed business workshop. See the thousands of video testimonials from real people just like you who've been able to build multi-million-dollar companies. Watch those testimonials today at thrivetimeshow.com. Simply by clicking on the testimonials button right there at thrivetimeshow.com, you're going to see thousands of people just like you who've been able to go from just surviving to thriving. Whoa. Each and every day, we're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup, but I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrivetime Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. You're going to come. I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done this show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed to the business owner to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you thank you, sir, for changing my life.
Well, not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there, too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much. And thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa.